Yo, what the hell is a flippant?
Welcome back to the Flippant podcast. It is your host, Flippant, and you have Toya the neighbor. I was telling you guys that I had to bring somebody on, to keep me well balanced, and this is a little special surprise here. Whenever we're not being filmed, we have some really deep conversations about some of the stuff I've said on my older channel and some of the stuff that we, it just gets to a point where we're talking about life at a different perspective. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Toya.
All right, so I'm Toya, the neighbor. You can follow me on Instagram at Miss Prolific 1, but this is my neighbor KB, and we have great conversations. I don't know what else to say. We have great conversations, and I decided I want to come over here to give a woman's perspective. And
before you guys blow her up in the comments section, understand that she's nervous for the first time.
And married.
And married. She's married. So you guys can't have her. Alright, so today we're going to talk about should prostitution be legal? I have my ideas on it, but I'm not really set on it. And we also have Toya the neighbor here, who she has her ideas on it. I don't know if she's setting it yet, but we also have Joe Rogan. We're going to get into this video right now. Let's see what he's got to say about it.
You know what Brett Weinstein said that was really interesting about this?
Is it Brett or Eric? I always think
Brett
it's Eric.
and Eric. There's brothers. They're brothers. They both been on my podcast.
Oh, wow.
Eric is a mathematician who works for Peter Thiel.
Yeah, I like that
Brett
guy.
is the professor from Evergreen College that got the day of absence where they made him quit because they were saying white people need to stay home. And everybody's like, that's so racist.
He's also a Jew.
Yes.
Like the Jews.
He's super progressive too.
It doesn't matter. The Jews didn't exactly have it easy.
What he was saying that's interesting, he was saying that this is not just about that. It's also about subordination, and that you're seeing this subordination play that's taking place, and that a lot of these men, like the way they're behaving to be subordinate. They're being obedience trained.
Yeah.
And they're giving into it to show that you shouldn't punish me because I'm on your side, because they're terrified of the women that are wielding this power now.
Yeah, but I got a theory.
They're wielding it wildly.
I got a theory about that, bro.
What's that theory, bro?
Well, men, historically, when you create a bunch of quiet resentment, it turns into loud violence. Men are really good at, you got to be careful about emasculating men wholesale, because I always worry that it's very easy to whip them up when you got the right circumstances and the right leader. And men like to organize, and they like to fight, and they like to fight back. And that's what makes them feel significant when they've been emasculated. And I don't think it's, that's that expression, punishment doesn't change behavior, it just suppresses it.
Well, do you know that in the turn of the century, not this one, but the last, there was a giant bachelor culture in America where men they had just gotten through, like a lot of it was like in the 20s too, like after the Depression. It was like the burden of having a family was just too much. It wasn't attractive to them, and there was a bunch of men that gravitated towards pool halls. And in the early 1900s in New York City, there was more than 900 pool halls in New York City.
Damn.
Just stop and think of that.
Damn.
More than 900 pool halls, and there was all these men that would just go there and they would hang out, and they were like, fuck that life. And they just didn't want to have a part of it because it was too brutal. It was too hard.
So as a man, do you feel like that? I've always thought that most, especially, I don't know, I never thought about it as in time. It's more of just the individual. But the older you get, that is what you want. You want to be able to settle down, retire, and be with somebody. Is that changed for men now?
So, I think that men should get married around 35. All right? And I think women should get married as early as possible. Right? There's a difference between us there, because at the age of 18, right? Let me pose this as a question.
Right.
At the age of 18, whenever you're legal to get married, would you rather marry a man who's established, who's got something in life, who's got funding for you to feel comfortable enough to have a kid, Or would you rather marry one of your peers who you know that you have to build with, who's not as comfortable in life, and you don't feel comfortable having a baby right now?
All right, so there's a plus and a negative for that for me. I think if I got married when I was 19 years old. So at 19 I married my husband, and I wanted to build together because I wanted to be able to take pride in everything we did and be able to say that I contributed to that. Versus me marrying somebody that was already well established. Then what did I actually do besides marry somebody that was well established?
Well, what you actually did, and I would speak for anybody who, like any woman who married at the age of 18 to somebody who was well established, what you did was you provided that man with a legacy. All right, I don't take that lightly. You know what I'm saying? Because I have a daughter. Like, I don't take that lightly. Like, my daughter is going to get everything that I've built up to this point whenever I die.
So back to what you said. We gave that man a legacy.
That's right.
What did I do for myself?
See, I think this is where I think this is where you and I can butt heads right here. Because one thing that men don't care about is what you did for yourself. It's what you did for us.
But
you know what I'm saying? Because
I agree with that, but then at the end of the day, when you decide that now I am too old for you and you need another new trophy to put on your arm, I'm going to leave here with everything I came in with. Just me marrying good. I'm going to leave with nothing, and somebody else is going to get in that place and be able to pick up for where I left off.
Well, I think that's wrong too, because like there's a lot of women who go through I think the divorce rate is 80% women are filing for divorce, not men who are filing for divorce.
But you men don't know how to keep your eyes to yourselves.
80%. Like, I mean, who are you? Like the eye police? Like, if I look around, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can tell you any man who is handsome. You know what I'm saying? And I can also tell you any woman who is like, yo, what are you doing here? Why are you talking to me? Like, so I can tell you both of those.
That goes back to my upbringing. Most men, you always call women gold diggers, right? Women are gold diggers. Y'all say when a woman doesn't do anything and she just marries well, she kind of was a gold digger. If I was to go out here and find me a man that was like 70 years old, he's about to pass away, whatever, but he has a lot of money. I married him for what? Because I'm a gold digger.
Right, but there's not a lot of women who are marrying 72-year-old millionaires either.
No, but at the end of the day, if you tell me to go with somebody older, because women, you said yourself, women need to get married as soon as possible. Men should wait till about 35 and 40 till they're established, so that a woman can come in and just kind of reap off what you've already done. How does that make me or build me up where I can walk away from this relationship and also say that I did something if you already came in the game with everything?
Well, I mean, if your goal as a woman is to have kids with the best man possible,
why I gotta be a woman's goal? I don't want no damn kids. I got 3, but I don't want them. I didn't want kids.
Well, you see, the thing is that's where you know it's kind of a contradiction, because you had those kids for the man that you wanted to be with, even though in your perspective you had a man who you had to build with, right? Just like me. You know, like me and my wife, we built together. You know what I'm saying?
So but you willing to leave somebody that you built with for somebody else that's just a...
The thing is that I wouldn't leave. You know what I'm saying?
Men would though.
No. Because like I told you, the statistics on that is 80% is women filing for divorce, not men. We're not divorcing our women.
Why do you think we're doing that though? Because just like he just said, as men, y'all get bored. You get... Oh, I want something else. You're making all these fucking pool halls. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. We're outside of the...
Y'all making all these pool halls because you're bored. When you got a woman that literally was there for me from ground zero, as you built to this man that you are now, all of a sudden you're bored with me. I don't have your kids. I don't took care of your home. I don't cook the dinner. You brought home the bacon. I fried it up. Like, it's been that way. And now all of a sudden you're bored. So you're going to go find something else that's much younger and more entertainment than even though I have built with you. Right. You want somebody else to reap the benefits of what I built with you.
So you did build with us, and understand that, you know, what it took to get us is what it no for us men. You know what it took to get us is not something that we continue to get. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say I'm 35. I'm a guy. I'm looking for, you know, a young, like, we've had our kids, and now, you know, our women that we picked, they decided that, hey, look, sex isn't important to me anymore. Right? So what it took to get us was sex appeal. Because let's be honest, like, guys are very simple. At some point in the relationship, like, sex it just goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, you know, in a woman's head, it's like, I already got this guy. Like, I don't need to, you know, provide sex to him anymore. And that's all we look for when we're not getting it at home. We're not looking for the next woman to have our kids. All right? We're looking for just a basic primal need, which is sex. That's it. You know
Not
what I'm saying?
necessarily, though. The reason why I say that is because I just watched the movie again, because it's one of my favorites, Wolf of Wall Street. Mm-hmm. He had the perfect wife. To me, she was great to him. She built with him.
Margot Robbie?
But soon as he found some pretty blonde girl, what did he do? He wasn't just looking for that good time. He eventually made her his wife. And as he was growing more and more, she reaped those benefits. She wasn't there from ground zero.
So let me ask you, all right, if you could enjoy the life that you built with your husband while letting your husband have a surrogate or a sex partner, right? Would you do that?
As long as that door swung both ways.
See, this is where I would have to disagree. It's only that, like, it's like, hey, look, I hit you up for sex, right? And you don't want to give it to me because you've made it. You know what I'm saying? We're here now. Like, I don't want to give it to you, but the thing is that I don't want you to get it from nobody else either. I think that's selfish.
But so basically you're saying men go on because they decide, oh, she's not want to have sex with me, so I'm going to have sex with somebody else.
Yeah.
What if it's not that I don't want to have sex with you, I'm just bored with it. Would you accept me to go and do the same thing that you want to do? It's like, y'all think about it as, because men, to me, I'm not going to say all men are selfish, but y'all don't take the woman's perspective in. I don't want to give you sex no more, so I'm being selfish because I don't want to give you sex no more. What if I'm just bored because we're doing the same thing in order?
Yeah,
sometimes I need you to choke
out.
me, pull my hair, but you want to just sit there and do the same style every day.
Check this out. You said you wanted somebody else because you were bored. I said we wanted somebody else because you weren't giving it to us anymore. I think that right there is the very difference. So if you wanted a change in pace, all you would have to do is speak up on it and do the change in pace, right? If you're talking about, like, you know, adding toys, involving all that other stuff. If I said that I wanted just the basic need of sex and I wasn't getting it, all right, those are two completely different things. You want somebody else. I want you. Like that.
Alright, you're right. Okay. So I'm gonna let that one go because you are right in that perspective, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's not that you're bored, it's the fact that I'm just not giving it to you no more.
Right.
But what if I'm not giving it to you no more because I'm bored?
Well, then that's whenever you have a conversation. I wouldn't know how to answer those questions.
But literally a lot of men, though, be honest, speaking from a man's perspective, if your woman comes to you and tell you, I'm bored, we need to spice it up, would that not, like, crush your ego a little bit? Would that not make you look at her differently? Because now, like, what you mean you bored? We're doing it all the time, yeah, but we're doing it the same way on repeat, like a movie just re-looping itself.
You know,
how would you feel? I
think you have a woman fighting against you, and her name is Wanda Sykes. You know what she said? She's like, I don't come like that. like, so if you get to know the person that you're intimate with, then it's like, hey, look, I did this so I can, have this feeling at this moment.
Wanda Sykes got herself a woman. Now, I ain't say I want to swing that way, but a woman knows what a woman wants, so maybe that's why she's happy.
I mean, it could be said that a man knows what a man's want, but
so if you decide to go out there and mess with Bill, that's different.
I'm not gay.
Like, I know, but what I'm saying, I understand what Wanda Sykes is saying, because she's a woman. She's getting it from a woman. A woman knows how to kind of keep a woman, because we know what we want. Mm-hmm. As a man, you gonna tell me a man? That's what you're gonna. I mean, I can go to a woman. That's what you want. because they can scrap it on and have the same thing that you have and give me everything I want. My thing is I want it from you.
I was about to say, before I add commentary to that, we're gonna get into we're eventually gonna get into this main topic. We're like 16 minutes in.
All right, go ahead.
we're eventually gonna find it.
I'm sorry.
All right, no, it's good. Let's let me hit play and meet her.
All this country would need for this thing to flip on its fucking ass, all they would need is legalized prostitution. And guys would be like, wait, hold up. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I definitely love you. But wait a minute. What am I signing? What is this? If people found out that they could just get sex anytime they wanted, if they had $100, like if you have $100, you can get sex.
Yeah.
You can get sex from a pretty girl and it's clean and you don't have to worry about it. People would be outraged. Like, well, how am I going to have power over this man if I can't control his sex?
I'm going to go ahead and hit the pause button on this one right here. This said exactly what I told you. It said it was a basic need. That was it. Intimacy with somebody else. It doesn't matter how it happened, or what, I didn't play the cowboy and put a horse suit on her. It was just the basic need. I needed sex. I understand it's like, should prostitution be legal? But this leads into directly what we were talking about. It's a basic need for us. We need to, we need to do that so we can go out and be great. That's it. For us, that's it.
Okay. So as a woman, y'all need sex so y'all can go out there and be great.
That's
I'm
right.
a woman, I need money so I can go out there and be great. So as your wife, if I go out there and put in an application for that position, how would you feel? I'm just going out there making money.
Oh, you're saying if prostitution was legal,
yeah,
and you put in an application to be a prostitute, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't be married anymore.
Why does that have to cancel the marriage? It's a lot of porn stars out here that get married to people.
A lot? Okay, let me bring up 2 that got married.
But 2 is more than
All right,
one.
so one of them is Mia Khalifa. All right, she's divorced. After like a year of marriage?
And why do you think that is? Because a man can take what they want to dish out to us.
We can't handle that.
But as women, we're expected to handle it.
What are you expected to handle? Let me
As a man, like you said, sometimes if I don't want to have sex with you today, and you said, well, I need it, so I'm gonna go out there and get it. I am expected to just understand that you needed it.
What you're expected to do is understand that the next time that you have intercourse with your husband is that you might catch an STD. That's what's expected.
Yeah, now if he's dirty, but he has to go.
Well, I mean, who else do we turn to? Because one, prostitution is not legal, right? And if we legalize prostitution, like that means they get STD checks, and that means that it's a cleaner environment. All right. It's not just, going to go find somebody who's who's down low, who's like, I'm not going to show up to this clinic because I don't have to. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever men go out to try to find somebody for that night, it's not the best of women. The best of women we have to court.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? We go out and find the ones who are like, yo, $40 on the light bill and we're good. Like that's who we have to go out and find. Right? Understand from a man's point of view, like we have to provide more if we want to get something that night. And if we want the cleanest, we have to wait 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? We have to wait that amount of time that she's willing, and if we want the cleanest. Now, we don't care. We want some dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, pay $40 on the light bill and that's her. That's just our perspective. So if we're not getting it from you, then we got to get it from somebody that night, and we're searching for anybody.
Then that makes y'all no different than animals.
Hey, hello. Like
I'm just saying though, but at the end of the day, like I said, I do agree that prostitution should be legalized. At the end of the day, as women, we have the right to choose what we want to do with our body. And if I decide I want to go out to the clinic every other couple of weeks to let somebody know I'm clean, so I can make me a couple of $100 a night, then that's my choice.
Well, see, the thing is, you don't have the right because prostitution is illegal.
I'm not gonna say if it was though. Now I get that. I don't feel like prostitution should be illegal. Because in the day, I feel like as women, we have say and control over our bodies. I think the reason why women don't take more control over their bodies is because we're scared of what the masses would say. Me growing up, you couldn't sleep with this person. As a female, you was going to be a hoe. As a male, you was that man. So it comes back to me for that. Like, don't get me wrong, I think I should be able to do what I want with my body. If I decide I don't want to go work for the man, I want to work for myself, I'm going to be an entrepreneur, and this is what's going to get me what I need, then I'm going to do what I have to do. My question is that why is it that, I mean, if I'm not willing to have sex with you one night, even if it's 2 nights, me taking care of you and staying by your side before you became who you are, this man who can go out there and just pay for it, I stood beside you. I gave it to you when I didn't want to. I gave you your kids. I kept your house clean. I gave you food every night. Me deciding I need a day off for 2 or 3 days, why is that a problem when you gotta go find the next, when that person you know is only going to be here for that good time and your money? Me, I am here because I love you. I loved you when you was broke. I love you when you have money. But y'all just need some breaks sometimes.
See, like I since we are 2 married individuals, all right, like we're speaking from a point of view where it's like, you know, like day in and day out, I gotta deal with this horse shit. Now, on the guy's side, and not to take away from your point, cause that was beautifully spoken. All right, and I never admit this to her because half the time it's not. But that was well spoken. You know, taking the 2 to 3 days off, I get it. But if a guy decided to take those days off from protection and, you know, bringing money in and stuff like that, we get looked at differently as well. You know, it's not just, you know, like, so if we're going to bed that night and, you know, we hear weird sounds and then the alarm goes off, I don't get to, oh, babe, let me just take the night. It was like, no, the problem's at your front door. The problem is at your front door. You have to handle that right now, right? Sense of urgency. And I think that if you want to keep your marriage or your relationship, whatever you're in, a sense of urgency is right there. You know, you have to stomach it right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, if, let's say, you know, he does feel some type of way about it and is like, you know what? Fine, I'm going out tonight. Right? At that point is whenever you lose whatever relationship you had, whatever trust you built, right? That at that point, that's whenever it's lost. Because, and I'm not even going to call it selfishness. It's because, oh, babe, I need 2 to 3 days off from, it was like, well, let's go hire somebody for the 2 to 3 days that you want off.
It's bullshit.
I know. Like,
that is bullshit, and it's different. As a different sex, protection, that is a protection. It's like a need versus a want.
So, I mean,
protection and taking care of home, that is a need. You wanted some that is a want. You want protection, don't you? Do we have to provide for you? I need protection, though.
You do.
You do. If somebody's trying to break in my house as my man, I expect you. I need that. You need.
And the urge for men is a need. Like, I wish that we can give you whatever is inside of us.
So how is giving you some ass going to protect you from anything besides blue balls?
It's going to keep us there, and blue balls leads to cancer. So if you. So if we're talking about, like, you know, the wants and needs, it was like we were built like this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we didn't have any control in what, you know, if it came down to it, all I needed was my friends, and all my friends are mostly men. If I needed somebody to talk to on emotional issues, it's
chose right or wrong, because you could have chose a man.
It's the fact that, like, you know, women can give you a legacy, and women can handle those, you know, what is it, like the cross-eyed moments where it's like, I can't think about anything, and then, like, you know, she, you know, what a towel, and then next thing you know, you're mixing chemicals, and you know what I'm saying, you're doing well in college because you got that release. Like, it's something that's not hanging on you like a demon. Whenever I get deprived of it, like whenever I was deployed, like, man, like I was looking at, like, inanimate objects like they were, you know, a couple of, you know, they were double cheeked up on a Tuesday. All right, I didn't control that. And I wish it wasn't. But see, the fact of the matter is whenever I got home, like I was like, bedroom now. You know what I'm saying? Like this has to happen now. Like it wasn't me.
But the key thing is that you were deployed. If your wife was there to able to give it to you, she would have probably gave it to you.
Except for those 2 to 3 days that you wanted off.
I mean, if you can wait 4 to 5 days for me to come off, like at the end of the day, why the only time I get a break if I'm on my period or something? Like, right or wrong? Because it could be a day that, man, you can come home and you just really mad at work or whatever. I don't feel like it right now. We have to respect that. A woman, we should get the same in return. If I don't feel like I don't feel like it. I'm not saying it's never going to happen again, but respect me enough to give me my space. The same way you expect for me to give you your space when you don't feel like it. Because it's players, if that's what you want, then there is no need for you to be going out here and do any other thing outside of having friends or with me. Once you get married, if all I need to do is give you some ass, I'll give you ass all day.
I got a question for you.
Go.
Your kids.
I love them.
You stated you had 3 kids.
Yes, I do.
Do you need those 2 to 3 days off from them?
For my babies?
For your babies.
Of course I do. As a mother, I'm going to speak. Yes,
like
I do. My baby boy would come to me, Mommy, have one homework, go to your dad.
I have nothing on this one.
All right, I do need a break from them. I'm not saying I need a break for loving them. I'm always going to love them.
That's right.
I need a break from doing from them sometimes. So that's why you get in a relationship, you get married to somebody, tag team, your turn, you're it. Get in the ring and you take over for me for a while. That's
the best part about being married, isn't it? Like, you know, you're able to, you know, swap in and out whenever you need a break. That I can't defeat you on that point. All right, like I really can't.
I beat him.
No. If you said no, my babies always come first. It was like then I'd have something. But if you need a break from the kids, just like
I
you
need a break.
from
Like you, sometimes as a woman, we just. Like I said, as a woman, we're expected to take on so much and to understand so much. But sometimes we don't. Where's that same respect for us?
The same respect for you is in what we can provide the best.
But why can't you just provide that for me and still understand my needs at the same time? I don't think that because you're my protector and you take care of the bills, that should not just be it. That should not just be enough. Because I can also be the provider and take care of the bills.
But you don't. That's the thing though. Like it's different. Like so in a world where, let me ask you like this. If you called the cops, do you expect a man or a woman to show up?
A man. Ooh, don't do that.
like I would have that little gotcha thing come up. You know what I'm saying? Like it. Because that's what it is. Like in your time of need, you would expect a man for the most part. I know there's women that are in the but like if you wanted to feel protected, it would be a man. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? It'd be his job.
All right.
And guess on the side of a husband, it's my job.
It's your job to protect me.
You know what I'm saying? And
so
I can't.
I mean, it's my sex is not a two-way street. It's just my job to give you the ass whenever you want. Like. It comes both ways. That's a mutual entertainment for us both, correct?
Hey, look, if I could tell my wife that, like, if I could tell her no and she'd get up and go out, like, then, like, now I have a problem. Not her. I would have a problem.
So you tell me you've never felt like sometimes, like, wrong time, I'm not ready. I don't feel like doing it right now. Like,
I can say
that's never happened to you?
I can say I've done that twice and I've regretted both of them.
And when she did...
I've regretted both times. I've done it, like, you can ask her after this interview. I've done it twice. I said no twice, and I've regretted both times. Like,
Well, I know I've told my husband no a couple of times.
A couple?
Yeah.
Only twice?
More than twice.
A couple is 2 times.
More than a couple.
Okay, so you were clarifying.
Yeah, more than a couple. Like, I've told him more, like, sometimes I just don't feel like it. I really don't. It's like if I'm at home all day, and honestly he goes to work too, but he comes home, he gets to play his game, take a nap. I'm at work. When I get off of work, I go back to work because I gotta be a mother, I gotta be a wife. Like all that stuff comes into play. I gotta make sure you got something to eat. I fix your plate. I gotta make sure they got something to eat. I fix their plate. I gotta make sure they do their homework. Make sure I go take a bath, take them to school, goes out. Like all that. My job never stops when I clock out. Your job does sometimes as a man. I don't know about you, but I don't. As my husband, the job stops once you clock out from work. You come home. That's your sanctuary. That's your peace. As a woman, we don't get that. So when our husbands come to us sometimes like, yo, I still want some. I don't did this. Like, I need a break. And it's I expect for you to just understand that. Because it's sometimes where, I mean, I know you horny or whatever, but it's sometimes when you don't feel like doing more than what you do when you already work. You get paid to do that, so that's why you do it. You don't want to do it, but you get paid to do it.
So would you take a step back from work to be a better mom and spouse?
If we were financially 100% good, yeah. I'm a type of woman, though, I can't if we're not on that level where I can take that break. If I can't take that break, I am going to work myself to the bone so that I can pick up where you can't make up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So to me, me in my personal situation right now, I can't afford to do that. No, I don't want to do it all the time, because I do feel like just like you said, if y'all want to go back to these caveman eras, a man's job is to take care, protect. I shouldn't have to do nothing besides wait for you to bring home the check, pay the bills, and go out shopping and have a good time. That is what my job should be. But it's not.
Among taking care of the kids and taking care of the needs of your husband.
Correct. But if it comes back that we're showing the bill, and you're looking at me like, well, where your money at? You can't have it both ways.
I don't think we asked for both ways. I think what happened was, of course, feminism in the 60s, which led up to what it was today. Men were able to take care of the house and all the bills before feminism. And now you have employers who are like, yo, we can work the man and the woman to the bones now. It doesn't leave a lot of room for rearing children and, watching their growth. It doesn't. Because it's just like you said.
Expected to take up that slack? You.
But see, the thing is that we didn't help feminism come into fruition. We didn't.
You said, the men, y'all was the ones who was hiring us to do the jobs. We didn't ask for the jobs, but when a man went to war, y'all came to us.
But the consequences are the same, aren't they?
As far as
you have to work. He has to work.
Right.
The man has needs, and you don't want to fulfill those needs sometimes because you feel like you're overworked. The consequences are the same. You know what I'm saying? It's just that now we both have to work, and now we both have to put in not just 100% at work, but 100% at home too. We both have to do that, right? So that's whenever feminism hit. Before then, you were able to sit at home. You know what I'm saying? Before then, you were able to sit at home.
We're going to go back to that, because at the end of the day, you got to think about it. Like you just said, as a woman, we got roles, you got roles.
That's right.
All right. You want to be able to just, once you get off work, you want to be able to do what you want to do. As a female, we not only took on the additional role of going out there and work because y'all wasn't here, we still kept on those other roles that y'all already put on us. We still had to make sure the food was cooked, the kids would take care of, the house was taken care of before y'all come home. And when y'all was away, we was doing that plus working on top. Ain't nobody give us no breaks. We still are expected to work, take care of home, food, and you. If I need a break, respect me to give me that break. Don't
and
go
what's
out
on
here
the
and
other side of that?
somebody else. I expect you to do the same thing, but to me, sex.
No. What's on the other side of that is you're talking about pre-1960s where men were going to war and dying, right? So of course, you're at home, you're a soldier, you know what I'm saying? You're freaking taking care of work and the at-home needs. But see, the other side of that is men dying at war so you can continue to be free here to do what you need to do. I don't think you can put those two things in, like you can't put the struggle of women back in World War II versus, now men. You have to go women in World War II versus men in World War II. Who was fighting in World War II? You were making the planes, all right? Now, if an assembly manager came through and said, like, hey, look, we need 100 planes on the front line or we're going to lose this war and all become German, fall under German rule, you made the plane. You know what I'm saying? On the other side of that, like I said, men, dying in World War II, right? So like if you like that's why I didn't say those two things. I said feminism in the 60s. You know what I'm saying? Where we were fighting Vietnam, where maybe we shouldn't have been over there, but I knew they couldn't retaliate. And I might come off ignorant here, but see, the thing is, in the 60s, whenever feminine hit, it was like you got the right to vote. So now, here's the thing. You get to take on the things that men have to take on. And in that, which is, you want to go to work? Fine, go to work. But see, what we're going to do is we're going to split that. Instead of your husband making $35,000 annually, we're going to make it so he makes $20,000 annually. And the woman to come to pick up the other slack, you know what I'm saying? $15,000. Because, like, I get it. It was sexism then, too. And nobody was getting paid evenly.
I'm sorry, I gotta pee.
Yeah, so do I. No, you're good.